to clock in. Mission is a go.
Hey everybody, Fearsome Beaver here with some Call of Duty gameplay. This is a hardcore team deathmatch on slums. Do pretty well. I'm quite impressed with my ability to use oh my god, what's it called? Sentry gun. I kept moving it around on them. It was kind of fun, so be prepared for that. But this is not going to be about Call of Duty. This is going back to the good old days. Some of you probably haven't seen some of my old videos. Some of you have. If you have, you can just ignore this video or just watch the gameplay with the sound off, or you can hear another good story. But I'm going back. What I used to do, give you a little background, I was a slumlord, as I like to call myself. I ran and managed a apartment complex with a whole bunch of buildings, which a whole bunch of apartments. I think it was 132. It's been a while. It's been almost a year since I quit to take care of my son. But I have tons and tons of very interesting stories. So I thought I'd go through some of those on my Call of Duty videos because Call of Duty is fun to watch, and these stories are actually pretty entertaining for most of my friends who have all heard them. A lot of people think I should write a book with the stuff that I have. Instead, I'm going to put it to gameplay. So that's my plan here today. This will be part one of the best story that I have. It ended badly. But I won't tell you how right away, but it did end badly. But this is about my tenant who was a serial killer. Now, was he really a serial killer? I don't know. He could have been. He might have been. He sure came off that way. But I'll just talk about it and let you know how it all went. And hope you enjoy it. And be sure to check out part 2. And there'll probably be a part 3. It's a very long story, but it's very worth listening to. I promise you. It is an interesting story. And it is all 100. Well, there's my wife will say it, there's nothing higher than 100%. It is 100% true. Every detail. So here we go. Where I worked, we were open late on Tuesdays, and normally that's not a big deal, but in the winter it would get dark out, and I wasn't in a great area of town. I mean, I was in an okay city, but just like 2 miles down was a really bad area of town. So you always had some very interesting individuals that came in, a lot of tweakers, a lot of people who were high. It just got dangerous. It was freaky, and I did the job for 7 years. But one night I had a gentleman come in, and he was a tall white guy. Probably in his mid to late 50s, but which doesn't sound very frightening. Why would a tall white guy late 50s be scary? Well, it was his demeanor. He came off really odd. I think at that time I had just been finishing watching the seasons of Dexter with John Lithgow, the one John Lithgow was in, and he reminded me a lot of that character, the way he acted. And probably it was the only it's probably one of the very, very few times I was uncomfortable with who came into my office. He really made me uncomfortable, and I was just hoping, he'd just ask a few questions and go away, and I could just not have to show him anything and just give him a brochure, because it's like 6:30 at night. It's pretty dark out already. But nope, he wanted to see a couple apartments. So I grabbed my keys and I grabbed my mace, which I had. My wife bought me mace like the first week I started the job, and I just had it. And that's the first time in I was probably in there 6 years at that point that I ever felt even the need to bring it with me. But we headed out. As a rule, I always had a rule, because you don't know these people. I'd always make sure they either walked beside me or in front of me. I didn't like people walking behind me, because you don't know what they're going to do, if they're going to do anything. And no matter how I tried to maneuver myself, he always walked behind me, always stayed behind me at all times. And that just again added to my I was completely uncomfortable about it. And so we get to the first apartment, which was a 2-bedroom, and I open the door and I step in just about one step, and then I stop, and and I do this with almost everybody unless I'm really comfortable with the person, is I stand by the door, you go in, you go and look at the apartment. If you have any questions, ask me, but I'm not going to walk in the apartment and close the door. Some people want to close the door on you, and that's really freaky, because you just don't you, I mean, shouldn't you even worry about the person who's showing the apartment? Maybe they'll kill you. I don't know. I mean, what a great job. You can kill people, kill them in the apartment. Nobody knows they're there, and, you put them out with the trash or something. But no, I don't like, I stand by the door usually, and I did that, and he just stops before walking in and stares at me. And we're just staring at each other. I said, you come on in. You're free to look around. I'll be right here to answer any questions you may have. He sat there for a minute. He hesitated, and then he finally went in. He came back into the room and said that he would like to see the one-bedroom apartment. I'm like, oh, jeez. That means going outside, taking another walk to the other building. So we walk over there. I started texting my wife as we were walking over there, telling her that I was with a serial killer and that she should split all my belongings up any way she wished. But we got to the one-bedroom. I do the same thing. Open the door, stand aside, and let him walk through the apartment. Meanwhile, I continue to have this secretive texting session with Liz, and she is she worries a lot, and so she's kind of freaking out, and I'm just trying to settle her down, like, just whatever. But so we leave the one bedroom, and I'm thinking, all right, well, that was, I'm still alive, so now we can go back to the office. And he stops me when I get outside, and he goes, I want to see the basement. I'm like, damn, why do you need to see the basement? It's just a basement. Our basements at the time, I mean, they're dark. They're just cement basements. They're all dark, a couple lights. There's a washer and dryer and private storage, and it's really freaky. And so I'm like, whatever. So we get to the stairs, and again, I want him to go down the stairs. I'm like, after you. And he's like, no, after you. And I'm like, no, go ahead. He's like, no, really, go. And I conceded finally, and I ran down the stairs pretty fast, probably. And he came down. We looked through. I had to say I was really anxious when we were down there, but we looked through it, and we decided that was. He decided, okay. And so we get back outside, and I think we're good. And he's like, let's go back and look at the two-bedroom again. I'm like, come on. Why do I have to come on? Dude, just kill me and get it over with at this point, because this is killing me. So we go look at the two-bedroom, and he says, thank you. And, he says he'll keep my place in mind. So that's where I'll leave it right now. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.